Good morning. So I thought I'd show you how I make my Moka pot coffee with the French press frother. I like this way because I can use the stove top for the coffee, and then I can use the French press in the microwave without any batteries, nothing to kind of run down and break later over time. So I've kind of prepped a few things for you. So first I've got my mug, and I've just put my amount of sweetener that I like. So I've got, I think this has got Splenda in it, but you can put whatever sweetener you like. And then I have the Moka pot. So it's right now I have it broken down into its parts and pieces. So first you can see this is the base, and I've already put water in it, and it's got filtered water. And I really like that because it's got, the flavor of tap water really comes through. So I use filtered water, and you can see at the very back there, this little kind of node. That's the pressure release valve right back there. And then there's a ring around. So you want to pour the water just underneath that. It tells you that in your instructions when you get the Moka pot. And then we have the filter that has the coffee. So I've put in today, I put this Illy Moka, which is specifically ground for a Moka pot. But you could use espresso if you want a strong kick, or you could use just regular coffee that you've ground at home in a grinder really fine. Or you can grind it at your grocery store if they have a grinder. And you can just set it for a setting that is close to espresso, but not espresso. Or some coffee shops will also have a grinder. All right, so we're just gonna, and I've put the coffee in almost to the top, and it kind of looks like I've packed it, but I really haven't. I've just kind of put it in there loosely, and then just kind of leveled it out. So we put that in there, and then here, this is the top, okay? And you can see that it's got the O-ring around there, so it's nice and clean. We're just gonna screw that on. And I'm right-handed, so I'm doing this with my left hand. So this is gonna look a little weird. Doing it one-handed. Okay, and then you can kind of see, I've used this for a while, and this is plastic. You don't want to have this too close to over your flame. I have a gas stove, so this has been hanging out a little too close to the flame. So we're gonna put this on the stove. All right, and I have this on the smallest burner. I have so this is a tiny burner, and then I have a big burner. So I'm going to put this on the small burner, and then I'm going to start it. My stove is a little old school, so I have to use a lighter. Okay. Alright, so I've just started the stove, and you can see I've got the handle a little bit farther over so it's not right over the flame. And I've got the lid up, so this is important. So you want to make sure you've got your lid up. It's so that you can see that the coffee is percolating. And when the coffee starts to percolate, you want to kind of get closer to it because it doesn't take that long, and then it can kind of splatter and get everywhere. And then you want to put the lid down. Okay, so next I want to talk about the frother. So this is a really mini French press, and it has mostly plastic pieces. It does have a metal screw, but it's been fine in the microwave. So this is the plunger for the French press, and typically it has this cover on it for when you're doing the coffee, but I took that off. You just unscrew this bottom piece, and you take that off, and that allows you to get the plunger all the way to the bottom, and you want that for when you're frothing your milk. You want to get it all the way to the bottom. All right, so we're just going to put this in the microwave, and I typically put it on like a minute 15, a minute 20 for regular milk, and if you're doing a non-dairy milk like an almond or a soy, you'll probably want a little bit less time because it heats up a lot faster. All right, so I'll be back when that is warm. Okay, so I've microwaved my milk, and notice in my little mini French press, I have the milk kind of up to like a third of the carafe, and that's important so it doesn't spill over. And also, you really don't need that much more because when it froths, it's gonna get bigger. All right, so we're gonna see if I can do this one-handed. We're gonna take the French press plunger, I'm gonna put it all the way down to the bottom. Ooh, yeah, this is a two-hander. Okay, so you're going to take the plunger, and you really need to hold the carafe at the top, and you want to plunge really, really fast, many, many times. And don't have a specific number of times that I do this. I don't know, I guess I do it for maybe 20 seconds or so. But you want to do it pretty fast. Make sure you get all the way to the bottom and then kind of come at the top, like all parts of the liquid. Get it really fast. This is putting air into the milk. And you want lots of tiny bubbles. All right, so I'm gonna pull this out. Okay, put that off to the side. I usually just rinse that really well. All right, so you can see how much the water, or how much the milk has grown. So you've got a lot to pour into your cup. All right, so the coffee is starting to percolate and come out the top. And you can see that it's gathering in the reservoir. And you'll see that it will stop around like maybe halfway up where the notch is for the pour spout. So you can see a nice kind of golden-y color that's really nice. I think that's supposed to give you good flavor because it's got a lot of air into it. And so I didn't mention this, but I have this, so this is a gas stove. I have it on 4, so this is the medium heat setting. You don't want it to be too hot, otherwise it'll burn really quickly. And you want it to kind of come out at this rate. You don't want it to be really slow and sludgy, because then you're not going to get a lot of liquid and you've probably sealed something improperly. Right, you can kind of see how much is up in the little spout area. This is getting close to the end. You know it's when you're getting to the end when it starts to really spurt like this. When it starts to make a mess, you know it's time to take it off. Alright, I think we're about done. I'm just going to turn the heat off. And you see how it's starting to really kind of spurt intermittently. So I'm going to close the lid just so it doesn't get me as I pick it up. Ooh, ow. Careful of that handle because it can be hot since it has been over. Alright, so I'm going to pour it into my mug. And I usually kind of swirl it around to get it mixed in with a sweetener. Okay, let's swirl around a bit more. All right, and I usually froth the milk like right before my coffee is ready so that it's nice and frothy and foamy. This is kind of lost a little bit. So we've got some milk and then we've got nice thick foam. And depending on the temperature and how long, the temperature of the milk and how long ago you froth your milk, will give you a different consistency. So each time I do this, it's a little bit different. This is like a perfect like milky and then frothy at the top. Sometimes it'll just all be very frothy. So sometimes you get kind of a latte consistency and sometimes it's more of a cappuccino. So that is my coffee, and then you can sprinkle on any cinnamon or cocoa powder or whatever. If you do like cayenne powder to make it kind of spicy, go very lightly. So that's how I make my coffee.